أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تلهكم أموالكم ولا أولادكم عن ذكر الله ومن يفعل ذلك فأولئك هم الخاسرون وأنفقوا مما رزقناكم من قبل أن يأتي أحدكم الموت فيقول رب لولا أخرتني إلى أجل قريب فأصدق وأكن من الصالحين ولن يؤخر الله نفسا إذا جاء أجلها والله خبير بما تعملون. O you who believe, your riches and your children must not divert you from the remembrance of Allah, and those who do that are the losers. And spend out of what we have given to you before death overtakes one of you, and he says, my Lord, would you not give me respite to a near term so that I should pray, so that I should give sadaqah and become one of the righteous? But Allah will never give respite to anyone. Once their appointed time will come, and Allah is all aware of what you do. So these are the concluding ayat and verses of Surah al-Munafiqun, which we have been reading for the past few days. So as we have been reading in the previous ayat, Allah Azza wa Jal speaks about the different sifat and the evil attributes of the Munafiqun, some of their statements, their derogatory statements towards Islam and towards Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the Muslims. So after mentioning all of that, now Allah Azza wa Jal concludes the surah by turning His attention towards the mu'minun and the believers, and reminds us that we as Muslims and believers, we must not behave like the Munafiqun and the hypocrites. So Allah Azza wa Jal mentions and He advises the believers that, O believers, لا تلهكم أموالكم. Don't be like the Munafiqun. In what sense? Meaning, don't let your amwal, don't let your riches, your wealth, and your children distract you and make you neglectful of the remembrance of Allah Azza wa Jal. That is what has neglected, that is what has distracted the Munafiqun and the hypocrites, and that is why they are not able to bring true and sincere iman, because they are so busy in running after the riches of this world and spending time behind their children, that is preventing them and blocking them from connecting with Allah Azza wa Jal, from building their relationship with Allah Azza wa Jal. So Allah is not saying don't earn money. Allah is not saying don't have children. Or Allah, if that's what Allah wanted, He would have said that clearly and explicitly. What Allah is saying, that do not make that your objective of life. That at all times you are only worried about mal, mal, mal. How can I earn more? One job, two jobs, three jobs, wherever it is. Even if that means violating the commandments of Allah, even if that means missing my salah, even if that means breaking the hukam of Allah, but you still give preference to the mal. That is what Allah is telling us not to do. Awlad, your children, of course, Allah wants you to have children, and Allah wants you to spend time with them and to raise them and nurture them in the proper way, in the Islamic way. But again, over here, it doesn't mean that you spend all the time that you have behind your children, so much so that it takes away from your time with Allah Azza wa Jal. Then you start giving preference to the interests of your children over the ahkam and the commandments of Allah. That's what it means, that do not let your mal and your children make you neglectful of the remembrance of Allah. وَمَنْ يَفْعَلْ ذَلِكَ, whoever gives preference to these things over Allah, فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْخَاسِرُونَ, then they are indeed the losers and the failures. وَأَنْفِقُوا مِمَّا رَزَقْنَاكُمْ. Now one way, Allah is telling us now, one way to decrease this excessive love which we have for this dunya, and especially the mal, is to spend it in the path of Allah. The more you spend in the path of Allah, the more the love for this dunya decreases and comes out from the heart. So Allah says, وَأَنْفِقُوا مِمَّا رَزَقْنَاكُمْ, and spend which we have given you as rizq and sustenance, مِنْ قَبْلِ أَنْ يَأْتِيَ أَحَدَكُمُ الْمَوْتِ, before the time comes to leave this world. What's going to happen then? فَيَقُولَ رَبِّ لَوْلَا أَخَّرْتَنِي إِلَىٰ أَجَلٍ قَرِيبٍ. Many people at that time, in that moment, when they're about to leave this world, then they will make this plea to Allah, that, oh my Lord, please give me a little bit of more time. Please give me just a little bit of more time. فَأَصَّدَّقَ, so that I can give some sadaqah. وَأَكُمْ مِنَ الصَّالِحِينَ, and so that I could be from the righteous. So I could pray a little bit of salah, I could do a little bit of tawbah, I can give some sadaqah here, I can fast maybe one more day, just a little bit of more time, so I can become a righteous servant of yours. Allah says, وَلَنْ يُؤَخِّرَ اللَّهُ نَفْسًا إِذَا جَاءَ أَجَلُهَا. When the appointed time comes, you don't get 1 second more and you don't get 1 second less. The exact moment and time that Allah has decreed for you, that is when you're going to leave this world. وَاللَّهُ خَبِيرٌ بِمَا تَعْمَلُونَ. Allah is aware of what you do. Allah is watching, Allah is listening, Allah is hearing, Allah is seeing, and Allah will then give you the the jaza and the recompense accordingly. Abdullah ibn Abbas radiallahu anhuma, and this ayah under this ayah, he mentions that this is going to be the regret of the mu'minun and the believers. Allah is not talking about the disbelievers here. Allah is talking about the believers, the mu'minun, the many believers. They will have this regret before they leave this world. So the kuffar and the disbelievers, they will have their own regret. But that's a different regret, right? Because they didn't have iman in Allah at all. But many believers will have this regret over here. That, oh Allah, just give me a little bit of more time so I can do some sadaqah, I can pray my salah, I can do something, oh Allah. But then it's too late. At that point, it is too late. So we ask Allah Azza wa Jal to grant us the strength and the ability to not be distracted by the temptations of this dunya. Rather, may Allah make our focus and attention towards the akhirah, put our focus and attention on Allah Azza wa Jal, on our a'mal and our deeds. May Allah forgive our shortcomings. May Allah be pleased with this. Amin ya Rabbil Alameen. Wa salli Allahumma wa sallim ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen.